skills to
hack your 3DS.
Now I have something to confess. I am a pirate. I drink rum day and night. I pillage unsuspecting villages. I always try to find treasure, and I have a pet parrot named Fly, all while defying the government in the process. And even if the FBI kicks my door down tomorrow and I'm sentenced to life in prison for piracy, I wouldn't have regretted a second of it. Because 3DS piracy is the pinnacle of gaming, and today, I'm going to share my experiences with you guys. Now, Nintendo made a horrible mistake shutting down the eShop, because that's what drove a lot of people to start pirating. Not me though, I've been pirating. But seeing such a large influx of people starting to hack their 3DSs just gave me so much joy. It started to make people realize that piracy isn't just not paying for a game, but it's in fact an art form. Now the way the games industry is, it really does encourage pirating games. And Nintendo is a prime example of that. Do you really expect me to buy a Wii just to play Mario Galaxy 2 because you didn't put it in 3D All-Stars? Hell no. I'm going to Vim's lair and booting up Dolphin just to play it. And besides the Steam Deck, the 3DS is an absolute powerhouse for game piracy. It has such a dedicated community with even more dedicated sub-communities. It's insane. All trying to make it as accessible as possible to people like me who know nothing about this kind of stuff. I mean, I got a friend to hack it for me anyway, because I don't really trust myself to do it alone. But it's really hard to mess up once you learn it. And once you finally achieve the Herculean task of hacking it, there's an infinite amount of things that you can do and customize. For starters, you can maybe change the wallpaper along with the music. Personally, mine was a Chrono Trigger background with the opening song playing in the back. I love you, Chrono Trigger. Oh yeah, and let's not forget the exclusive fan-made games. CTGP7, a Mario Kart 7 mod that adds just so much to the game. A crap ton of tracks, some better than others, new characters, remixed courses, new items, as well as improving old items. Like the blooper, which is actually effective now because it makes driving super slippery. This game is just so freaking cool. And while it's not as active as the one on the Wii, like seriously, I tried playing this online and I could only find like one other person after 4 minutes. It's still really enjoyable. I'd totally play it if I were you. There's also a DS counterpart called CTGP Nitro, also a really good game. I actually prefer the tracks and characters in this one over the 3DS one. I mean, for God's sakes, this one has a Minecraft Mario as a playable racer. The best part is, the community is still really active and regularly updates the game. I'd totally check it out if I were you. But you can't forget some of the more crazy stuff this community does. FNAF on the 3DS, 3DS Friday Night Funkin'. They even have Minecraft. I mean, it's really janky, but it's good for an unofficial port. Wait, so you're telling me that this is an actual thing released by Mojang and not some novelty game ported by some dude in his basement? Oh my god. Okay then. What a timeline, man. You totally get what I mean though. There's so many fan-made projects that bring life to the 3DS. It truly has one of the best communities out there. But straying away from user-made stuff for a second, I want to talk about the capabilities of this thing. I'm gonna shock you right off the bat here. This thing can play PS1 games. That's right, PS1 games. Just look here, it has to be seen to be believed, trust me. Okay, I never said it could play them good, but you gotta admit, it's just so crazy what people do with this thing. They test the absolute limits of this hardware. It's almost unbelievable. Wherever Nintendo fails, these guys absolutely succeed. Oh, Game Boy games are only available to a select few people? Nah, anybody can play any Game Boy Advance game they want. Oh, you wanna play Japan-only game? But you're not anywhere near Japan. What do you mean you want to play a Japanese-only game? I don't care. You don't even speak a word of Japanese. But here's the download. Have fun understanding anything they're saying, kid. Hey, kid. I heard you like the hub. Well, we got plenty of that over here. It's just so diverse. I truly love it, especially as a retro game fan. Now, this video is going to get slightly more personal, as I want to delve into why I think a hacked 3DS is the ultimate powerhouse for games. Besides the Steam Deck, but I already said that earlier anyway. Are you an amnesiac or something? Why am I insulting you guys? You guys did nothing wrong. I'm just in a bad mood today. But as I stated earlier, I am a huge RPG enjoyer. Okay, so there goes half of my viewers, because last time I talked about RPGs, my video flopped. I'm never getting that time back. But even then, I'm more than happy to still talk about RPGs, because my love for them just didn't come out of nowhere. Now I know this might sound crazy, but millions and millions and millions of seconds ago, I really didn't play that many RPGs. They just seemed so inaccessible to me. But one day, one of my friends decided to hack my 3DS for me, and my whole world opened up. Not my real life world, because I had no friends back then, and I didn't go outside. I mean, I still don't go outside, but at least I have friends, so that's one thing. But at the time, I was a huge Kirby fanatic, and I was on a mission to play every single Kirby game ever made. And let me tell you, that was actually really fun, but eventually I beat all the games, so I moved on to something else. I would start to experiment and play some games from other franchises. Super Princess Peach, that weird 4chan Pokemon game that I showed to my friends at school, a damn SpongeBob platformer I beat on the same day. The game was actually pretty good though, not gonna lie. I'd play it again if I could. Oh yeah, FYI, I play a lot of these games in school, usually during business class, because my teacher quit and we had like no work, so I just played these games because I got bored. God, I have such a love-hate relationship with freshman year. But the last game I played was Mother 3. I put Chrono Trigger in the script for some reason. Like, that was the second RPG I played, not the first one. I don't know why I put that there. Now, as you guys know, I'm a huge Earthbound fan, but even then, I didn't really like RPGs that much. I mean, I played them, but I was never a huge fan of them. Earthbound was always super alien to me in that regard. Get it? Alien? You won't get that if you haven't played the game. But this game sent me down an RPG rabbit hole that would lead me to become a huge fan of RPGs, as you can see right now. Soon after, more RPGs would pop up like it was the bubonic plague infecting my 3DS with a delectable catalog of games. You like that vocabulary there? That was pretty nice. Yeah, I'm an AP Lang student. How'd you know? Seriously though, that class is ruining this channel. That class is tearing me apart, dude. I haven't worked on this video for like a month. That's a huge exaggeration. What's not an exaggeration though, is calling Final Fantasy, Secret of Mana, Mother 3, Lufia, and the Denpa Men a masterpiece. These games would all grant me with the best gaming experiences of all time. Except for Final Fantasy 2, that game sucks. It's so bad. It's so bad. Dislike the video all you want. Final Fantasy 2 Legend did it better. Fight me. But in all honesty, the 3DS is the main reason as to why I became this way. It opened up such a large variety of games to me that I otherwise would have never batted an eye to. Write this in your notes, by the way. This is some pixel lore right here. I'ma bring this piece of continuity back in video 213, so don't forget it. It's gonna be very important later on. But having a pirated 3DS will change the way you play games forever. It's like the gaming version of an awakening. It will change your life. While I'm being pretty hyperbolic here, I think there's a lot of truth to this statement. Usually when it comes to getting games for free, like on the Epic Game Store for example, I usually don't touch them for more than a few hours or just don't touch them at all. I don't know why I do that. I don't know if it's just some weird psychological thing that I just do, but it does happen to me. And I was fully expecting for that to happen here, but to my surprise, it never happened. I played these games ever since I spent my life savings on them, which if anyone is curious is precisely $20, not including debt by the way. God, this basement's the only thing keeping me stable right now. But seriously, the experience of having basically an infinite amount of games at your fingertips isn't as overwhelming as you'd expect. Yeah, sure, maybe you'll pick a ton of games and probably never finish them, but that's the beauty of it. You get to experiment with no repercussions. Let me explain. You'll always get a net profit. You get free game. If you like game, you play. If you don't like game, you don't play. So simple, a caveman could understand it. Oh, and before anybody goes in a rant in the comments about how immoral piracy is, let me just tell you something. Actually, no, please type away. I need the engagement for a little algorithm boost, I need the views. Even if it was immoral, I'd still pirate anyway. The only reason why I don't is because I don't want my computer infected with like 1,000 viruses. Like, I don't care that there's 1,000 MILFs in my area. Just let me play Plants vs. Zombies Anniversary Edition already. That's worth more than 1,000 MILFs right there. But the life of a pirate involves no integrity. It's instead one of greed and plundering and enjoying 20-plus-year-old games that are either too inaccessible to play or too expensive to buy and won't support the developers anyway because the only reasonable way to get it is from a divorced dad named Darren selling it on eBay for a 400% price hike to help pay the month's rent because his landlord is an asshole. Overall, I think us pirates are doing the world a huge favor by just enjoying the time we have on this earth. Because God knows where it's going to go in 20 years. So, I think we learned something today, didn't we? No? What do you mean this video was glorified rambling with a few things about piracy thrown in and some good background music? I thought I did a pretty damn good job with the commentary. But in all seriousness, this video was really fun to make. This video is pretty different from my others, as it's heavily comedy oriented, so it might seem odd to a bit of my regular viewers. I know I always go on some random heartfelt tirade before the video ends, so I'm not gonna do that this time. Peace out, pirates.
We left our homes and we left our mothers to go on a pillaging spree. We'll cut off your ears and break your toes and make you drink our pee. And if you sail into our waters, you best hear this decree. We'll take your boat, set your ass afloat.
Somalian pirate, we